All right, so here we are at the beginning of round three. We are 1-1, and that last win was surprising. Let's see if we can maybe repeat that. This hand's not too bad. I have a turn 2 research assistant, turn 3 mind rot, so I think I will keep it. I'm missing one island to get this statue of denial online, but that's okay. So he drops a swamp and says go. I'd really like to see a plains next turn to get out raise the alarm instead of research assistant, but we'll see what we get. He drops a second swamp, and what's he going to do? He's going to sign in blood. Pretty good turn 2 play. So we don't get the plains, so no raise the alarm, but we have the research assistant. And so next turn I can mind rot away 2 of his cards, or I could divinate and get 2 of my cards. Kind of depends on what he plays here. He drops a Midnight Guard, okay, so that Midnight Guard can bounce off my research assistant all day. We hit a island. So he's at 6 cards. Mind rotting him is probably just going to result in 2 lands. So I might just divination here and get 2 of my own cards. Probably the better option. It lets him have his 4-drop pretty available, but so be it. So I hit another divination and a mind rot. Not the most powerful cards, not necessarily the best cards I wanted to see. I really would have liked to see an island or plains rather. So an accursed spirit comes down. That's probably going to be problematic to me. I have a necromancer's assistant, and I think that might be it that can block that. So that's a flesh to dust target. We hit a tireless missionaries. That's not going to help us too much. I think we just pass the turn here and counter whatever he plays. I don't want to mind rot him yet. Yeah, that's about all we can do, unfortunately. So he's going to swing in with the accursed spirit. I'm going to take 3. He's going to swing in with the Midnight Guard. That's interesting. I'll offer that block. It's probably just a free attack for him, because if he's going to cast a creature, that Midnight Guard will on tap, although that creature is definitely not going to enter the battlefield. And I get to loot, because I have a blue creature out. So I'm going to loot away one of these mind rots. I definitely don't really need 2 of them sitting in my hand. Unfortunately, still no plains. I can dissipate whatever comes next. Blue 1 leaves me with 2. I could divinate this turn and would not be able to cast anything. I could mind rot him, but I'd rather just dissipate whatever he's going to try to throw at me here. So we're probably going to see the same attack, Midnight Guard and Accursed Spirit, because once again he's going to hope for a creature to hit the board and turn that Midnight Guard back on. So they're just going to bounce off each other. I'm going to take 3. He's going to cast a creature, which is going to get dissipated. It's another Midnight Guard. Generally not terribly threatening, but when my deck has so few creatures, it's actually a little bit threatening. So we'll cancel that and pass the turn. Right, we got an Endless Obedience. Black, black, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could steal that Shadowcloak Vampire from him. I might almost be more interested in mind rotting him here and seeing what falls out and then Endless Obediencing. He'll probably keep his best creature back still. But if he does, he'll cast it next turn anyway, so it's coming out regardless. So I think... I think I will actually mind rot him here and see what falls out. Currently that Endless Obedience is wanting to hit that Shadowcloak Vampire. I think we're just going to see lands come out. We're going to see a Leeching Sliver and a Flesh to Dust go away. If he pitched away a Flesh to Dust, he's sitting on something big, and I'm betting its name is Obnixilis, based on what I remember of the draft. Constricting Sliver comes down, stealing my research assistant. Maybe that's what he was saving onto. Well, the Shadowcloak Vampire, I think, is still going to be the target. Unfortunately, it's just going to trade with either of these guys, unless I hit a Plains and can have Emerald Shields. Nope, I can't, and I can't actually even cast the Endless Obedience now, because he did steal that creature. So he's going to come in for 3, 6, 7, 8. He's going to take me to 1. So my only option here is to Divination. I hit a Plains, so I can chump block the Midnight Guard and the Constricting Sliver with Raise the Alarm. And I think that's going to have to be the play. So unless he top decked that Constricting Sliver, the card that was in his hand was the card that he drew. I'm still surprised that he would have kept the Constricting Sliver in favor of the Flesh to Dust, but maybe that's me showing my knowledge of my deck, knowing that there's really not much to hit. So I'm going to cast that, which is going to let me chump block. Do I chump block both? I think I do. Gives me 1 extra turn. He'll take me to 6 and then kill me. If I leave 1 back, he'll take me to 3 and kill me. Yeah, let's jump block both. So I hit an island. So my options currently are Tireless Missionaries, go back up to 9, chump block. I actually managed to live another turn if I do that. And Ephemeral Shields actually turns on. So I think I might actually do that. So Ephemeral Shields is on. I'll go to 3. And then I can Endless Obedience that Shadowcloak Vampire from him. Spectre Ward. So Solemn Offering is going in the deck. So he's going to come in for 7 unblockable here. So I'm going to block with the Tireless Missionaries. I'm going to Ephemeral Shields the Tireless Missionaries, pay a white. So he gets in for 7, I go to 2. And I draw an island, so I'm not even going to show him that Endless Obedience. And that's game. There's a Flesh to Dust. That would have been nice to see. So yeah, that game was not terribly good, but we did get to see he has a Spectre Ward, so Solemn Offering is going in for sure. Pillar of Light. I didn't see any targets for that, so that might actually come out for the Solemn Offering. Fester Gloom wouldn't hit anything that I saw. Hydro Surge, Mind Sculpt, Chrono Stutter. No, I think we'll keep this as is. The big knowledge we got is that he has a Spectre Ward. He also has Flesh Dust, so be on the lookout for that, although I don't have that many creatures for him to hit. No, I don't want to play first. So what's this hand look like? We have all of our colors. We have that Research Assistant. We have a turn 3 Mind Rot or Divination. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. We'll lead with the island. We draw our Triplicate Spirits. If we can get up to that mana, that would be pretty nice. So he plays another Plains, passes his turn. I will drop a Swamp and that Research Assistant and say go. So he gets his second color. And he's going to drop a Child of Night. Pretty okay with that because I can block it with the Research Assistant pretty profitably. So I might Mind Rot him here and just take 2 cards. They'll probably be lands. This guy does seem to be a bit of a better player than the last guy. Divination is going to be the play next turn. But this turn I'll just Mind Rot him and say go. So Mind Rot hits a Midnight Guard and a Seraph of the Masses. Wow. It's a big card to throw away. It's an expensive card, so maybe he's worried about getting to it. And that would make sense. He has no lands in his hand. He just passes the turn. So that's right where we want to be. This gives us time to do Divination without worrying. Unfortunately, we don't hit anything, so maybe we should still worry. So he gets another free turn, essentially, to draw a land. He doesn't. So I will play this swamp here. I'll keep the Jace's Ingenuity for his turn, just to bluff a counterspell or something. We'll see if he hits a land this turn, or something that he can do for 3 mana. He does hit a land, so he is at 4. So down comes, a black Paragon. That's pretty good. So he's going to come in with the Child of Night for sure. And I'm okay with that. I'll take 3. He'll gain 3. Do I Jace's Ingenuity here? I'll draw 3 cards, so I'll go up to 8. I'll have 9 next turn. But I'm pretty happy to discard a lot of these lands. So yeah, I'll Jace's Ingenuity. I hit an Endless Obedience. That's decent. So I'm going to drop the Plains here. And then I guess I'll go with Triplicate Spirits. And then I can actually Endless Obedience his Seraph of the Masses, which would be okay. It would be a 5/5. So yeah, let's Triplicate Spirits. And that's going to keep up Endless Obedience. And I won't even have to discard a card. So if he attacks in, do I block? I don't think I do. He's going to Sign in Blood. He must really be searching for lands. He finds a Plains. But I think he's just going to swing in with this Child of Night. I could waste 2 spirits, one of which could live with the Ephemeral Shields. He might have his own Ephemeral Shields. So I think I'll just let this 3 through. I go to 14, he goes to 24. So I draw another land. So my options here are Tireless Missionaries, go back up to 17 and present a real blocker to that Child of Night. I could Divination, hoping for a counter spell for whatever big thing he's going to try powering out. Or I could Endless Obedience that Seraph of the Masses, getting a 5/5. I think I might do that. I'll attack in for 3 with the spirits here. Take him down to 21. And then I will take that Seraph of the Masses. 4 mana. If I tap that, I can leave up... If I tap that, I can actually Divinate as well. So yeah, I will use the Research Assistant here. Or wait, no. No, I can't still Divinate with that. I can still Ephemeral Shield, which will save the Seraph from his Flesh to Dust, which I would expect to see this turn. So I get a 5/5 flyer. It's pretty decent. I would really expect to see a Flesh to Dust this turn on that Seraph of Masses, which I will promptly save with Ephemeral Shields. So I can actually get in for 8 in the air next turn. And I know he's not holding, or he might be holding a Devouring Light, but he can't cast it this turn because it is white, 1. So I think I will just fly in the air for 8. I guess I'll Divination here. I'll still have mana, white, 1, 2, 3. I'll still have mana for the Tireless Missionaries if I don't hit a counter spell. And I don't. But is Zoth Shade a better play? Yeah, I think the Zoth Shade is a better play here. It will allow me to get in next turn, possibly for large, if he doesn't have a play here. He has another Flesh to Dust, so the Seraph of Dawn is going to bite it this time. I don't have a counter or the Ephemeral Shields, unfortunately. But he does waste that second Flesh to Dust on his own creature. He is going to attack here. So he's offering a trade with the Zoth Shade if he's not holding his own ephemeral shields. I'm not really willing to risk that, and I think my Zoth Shade's going to be one of the ways that I'm going to be able to get back through. So I will drop a land here. So my Zoth Shade, I can make an 8/8, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can hit in at him for 11, taking him to 5, which I think is just going to be the play here. I don't think he'd be able to hit back with too much, so I will just go in with everything. He doesn't offer the block, so I am going to pump this up. Making an 8/8, get in for 11, taking him to 5. He can go back up to 8, but he has a full hand almost, 5 cards, a lot of mana. Something's got to come down here. He's going to swing in for 3. Oh, he's going to swing in with the Paragon as well. I'm definitely willing to potentially lose the Research Assistant. No, he was just hoping for that extra 2. So he must play a blocker here. Leeching Sliver is going to be able to block the Zoth Shade, as is Midnight Guard. So he has blockers back now. So I hit a negate. So I'm going to swing in with the same guys as last time. I will pump the Zoth Shade as much as I need to kill whatever he blocks with. So I'll pump it once. So that kills the Leeching Sliver. I get in for 3. And then I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana left. So I can do Tireless Missionaries and leave Negate up. That'll put me back up to 11 and presents a viable blocker against that Child of Night. Necromancer's Assistant, probably not what I want here. So yeah, I will do that. Keep up 1 in a blue for my negate. So I go back up to 11. He's down to 5. But once again, 4 cards, a lot of mana. Surprised I haven't seen a Divination or either of my Statute of Denials yet. Those would be perfect right now because it would allow me to really control what he plays. So he's going to drop an Eternal Thirst. He's going to try to get some life back, and that's going to get negated. It's not the most powerful spell that I'd like to negate, but it's something. So he's going to swing with the Child of Night, which I am gladly going to block with the Tireless Missionaries. If he has the Ephemeral Shields, it's going to come down now. It's not. So, yeah, pretty good. So, let's see. I have a Sign in Blood. I'm not going to Sign in Blood pre-combat. I am going to attack in with the Zoth Shade. See what he blocks with. See how much I have to pump it by. So I have to pump it by 1. Make it a 4/4. So I take him back down to 5. This actually lets me Sign in Blood him next turn if I attack in with 3. So I think I will just put down a Necromancer's Assistant here, mill off 3 cards, and just present yet another attacker for next turn. There goes my Solemn Offering, my Raise the Alarm, and a Mind Rot. So what's he going to do here? He's going to put down the Spectre Ward. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, it does not save him, because I can do just 3 in the air. Yeah, he realizes that's not going to save him. So he concedes, so we actually do get a win out there. So we're going to go into game 3. That game was pretty much what I needed to happen. I needed to be able to get to the late game. This is a very, 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 very late game deck. I don't think I'm going to make any more changes to the deck here. I still didn't see really enough targets for Pillar of Light. Fester Gloom, still no real targets. I don't need a third Mind Rot. Hydra Surge, Mind Sculpt, Chrono Stutter, none of them are really going to help me. So I'm just going to submit the deck as is and see how game 3 goes. So we are missing our black. We're missing our double blue for the statute. This is possibly the first hand I'm going to mulligan. I just have absolutely 0 plays. So yeah, I'm going to go down to 6 here. I have a Soul Mender, and I think that's going to be the best it's going to get. So swamp and go, I will say plain Soul Mender go. Start gaining all of the life. He says swamp and Childonite. Nope, he's going to sign in blood. I will say swamp and oh, what do I want here? Do I want to gain a life or do I want to deal damage? Deal damage is usually better. I can power out those triplicate spirits pretty soon. So yeah, I think I will just deal some damage here. Get as much damage as I can get in. Still no islands, so that statue's a ways away from being played. He hits his second color. Down comes a Midnight Guard. That's going to block my Soul Mender forever. I will hit a Plains. I have my Solemn Offering, so I can kill off his Spectre Ward if I end up seeing it. But I will just pass the turn here. He can attack in for virtually 1, because he'll attack in for 2, and then I'll gain a life back off the Soul Mender. Which he's going to do. And of course he'll have a creature to on-tap that Midnight Guard. Warden of the Beyond. It's fairly decent, especially because, well, I guess I'm not playing Pillar of Light anymore. I got rid of it, but perhaps he is. So there's an island. That's something that I kind of need. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I'm still a land away or a creature away from triplicate spirits, so I'm just going to have to pass the turn here. He's going to get in for 3 net damage next turn, or this turn rather. So in comes 4. I will take that 4. You just go straight to end step. All right. So I'll gain a life back. Go to 16. We don't hit the second island, but we hit a land. Or sorry, we had a land. Anyways, so I guess I'll just triplicate spirits here. Get 3 spirits out. His Midnight Guard is going to super on tap. So unfortunately, I'm really lacking the board control. He's going to Flesh to Dust that Soul Mender. It seems like he might have realized that I'm not playing many creatures here, so one of those Flesh to Dusts is gone. He's going to Constricting Sliver one of my spirits, and unfortunately his board presence is just getting out of control at this point for my deck. I can hope for a Flesh to Dust to kill off, I guess, the Constricting Sliver. I feel like that Warden of Beyond should be on, should it not? Or no, sorry, I guess the spirit was exiled, and so the Warden would have very momentarily been turned on, but then would have become a 2/2 again as the spirit token disappeared forever. So I can double block here and kill the Warden. I lose my spirits, which are kind of my win condition, but I don't really know if they're going to be a win condition just yet. It's too early in the game for them. They really needed to come down much later, and I needed to have more of a board position. So we hit a swamp. Not good. We're just going to have to pass the turn here. I could have saved one of the spirits with the Ephemeral Shields, but I think we're behind the 8 ball here. He's going to drop a Spectre Ward, which is going to be negated. He's still going to get in for 5, take me to 9. So I'm on a 2-turn clock at this moment. I can statute whatever he casts, and I'll be on a 1-turn clock. Gets in for 5, takes me to 4. Just passes the turn. So I've got a Zoff Shade. So that will buy me a turn. I can block the Constricting Sliver and pump the Shade and go to 2. he gets a leeching sliver, so I'm actually going to go to 1 because the constricting sliver will deal 1 damage by attacking. Not many outs here. Oh, and of course the leeching sliver has the constricting sliver ability, so this is actually just game here. So that was an unfortunate game 3. He got ahead in the board very quickly. Yeah, it was a fun deck. Definitely something you would never really see happen in a real draft. I'm very happy with that one win that I got. I did not expect any wins. And I was pretty happy with the deck. I think maybe one more triplicate spirits, a sanctified charge would have really helped. Just something to give me a little bit more consistent end game. The board presence was always going to be a problem. So I think maybe that Cone of Flame would have been a really good pickup had I have gone potentially black, red, blue. Could have been an option. But yeah, that was fun. That was Izzet a deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoy Wacky Wednesday stipulation drafts. If you do, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the videos. You can find me on Twitter at the Mana Leek, so you can follow me there. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/themanaleek, so you can like that page and post comments and keep abreast of what's happening. So yeah, that is Wacky Wednesday from the Mana Leek. I hope you had fun, and let me know what you think.